Hello and welcome to The Third Hand. I'm your host, Tucker Ewing, with my co-host, who squatches the most, Jordan, and our other sort of becoming a consistent co-host, Maya. Hello, Maya. Welcome again to the show. Are you going to pay attention today?
Yes.
All right, sweet, good. We have got a verbal commitment there. So, if at any point in the show she is not paying attention, feel free to comment when we post about this on Instagram.
They're not gonna know. They're not watching me.
Yeah, no one's watching this. No one comments on this.
Someone did.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's gonna happen again.
Probably not. All right. So, Jordan, let's get to everyone's favorite segment of the show. What do you identify as today? Last time you identified as a transracial racist Scorpio. Yeah, that's right.
Today, identify as a triggered semi-bisexual.
A triggered semi-bisexual. And why a triggered semi-bisexual?
Well, semi-bisexual because I'm bisexual, but I'm only attracted to one gender. And
So that's
That's
why.
why you're
So that's why you're
that's why I'm semi-bisexual, see?
Okay.
But I can still be bisexual. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
With only being attracted to one gender.
Okay. All
See
right.
how this makes sense?
Only being attracted to one of the two genders that are out there.
Yes, right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm triggered because I watched the Halo series.
Okay.
See, have you ever watched? Yeah, they made one Halo movie before, and it sucked. I think it was called Forward Unto Dawn. It's not worth watching. But have you ever played any of the Halo games?
I have played like a game or two at our friend's house, but that's it. Like nothing in depth. I don't know any storylines or anything like that.
Okay,
So
Halo's it's a good series, right? Good, they're good games. Probably Halo 1 through 3 were the best, at least story-wise. And then 4, the story wasn't great. They added a lot of new stuff. Only thing that made up for it was they made Cortana hot in that game. And then 5 was dumb because they strayed a little bit from the original story, and then Cortana wasn't hot anymore, so it sucked even more. But Halo Infinite was really good. I did like Halo Infinite. But, so Halo, you got Master Chief, and he just shoots aliens. That's all you need to know.
okay.
And so the first Halo game came out in 2001. Halo Combat Evolved. 2001, okay? That is 21 years ago.
Okay.
Okay, and Master Chief has been in 6 Halo games.
Okay.
And through that whole time, he never takes off his helmet. We never get a peek at his face. Right? Kind of like The Mandalorian Season 1. That's right.
Okay.
You know what happens? The very first episode of the Halo series? They take off his freaking helmet! Okay? The first thing! It's the first episode. It was so dumb. Like, it wasn't even a good reason. See, it starts off with like this.
Spoiler warnings.
No spoilers. Don't even bother watching the show. I mean, watch the first, like, little bit. The rest sucks. Anyway, it starts out on, like, this random planet. It's not Earth. And got these group of rebel people that don't like the rest of the people. Playing these Halo games, I should know more about what I'm saying. But,
So what you're
the
saying-
UNSC, they don't like the UNSC.
The United States of Outer Space.
Yes, basically. Yes, United States of the space.
Of the
Anyways.
space. All right. So there's a group of leftists who don't like the United States of Outer Space.
Well, they're not leftists because they have AKs.
Oh, okay.
They're
They're
commies.
they're commies. So they're commies that don't like the United States of Outer Space.
That's right. Anyway, so they're on some random planet, I think mining for water, which is very Star Wars-esque.
Mining for water.
Yeah. Anyway,
They do it in Star Wars.
they do it in Star Wars. That's the whole thing. Tatooine, you got moisture
Well,
farming.
I know, it just sounds funny. When
Yeah.
you say mining for water.
I don't know how else to say it. They're moisture farming.
That's weirder.
I'm farming moisture.
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 Anyway.
That sounds pretty moist.
It is pretty moist. Anyway, so there's this stupid little girl, right? her dad's a general, and everyone lives in like this little fortified water mining town, and so she sneaks out into the woods with her friends to get high on whatever natural plants they find. So while they're tripping balls, she doesn't eat the weird, LSD plant. She looks off in the distance and sees a Covenant ship, which is the alien bad guy ship.
Okay.
And they're like in a cave, and she sees like shooting, and she's like, "What's that?" And then her friend explodes.
Her friend
Her
explodes?
friends like the bad guy aliens shoot at her friend, and they explode, and so all of her friends are like freaking out, and they're running away. The aliens are called the Elite. They're the elites. Anyway, they get to back to base, and all the people in the base think it's the UNSC, but no, it's the Covenant, and they just start blowing people up. Like one shot blows off your leg, and you're dead. And they're shooting with their AKs, and they're not penetrating their shields and stuff. And then all of a sudden, the Spartans show up.
So that's what you get. You can't. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, except you can't bring an AK to an alien fight.
That's right. Unless you're a Spartan that wears titanium armor and has awesome guns.
Okay.
'Cause the
but
Spartans-
that's not an AK now.
That's not an AK, no.
It's an awesome gun.
It's an awesome gun. It's
So.
the assault rifle, and they had the magnums and stuff, which wasn't in Halo Infinite. Anyway, so basically, aliens, the elites kill all the rebel people, and the Spartans get there, and then they kill all the elites. And this one little girl is the only survivor, so they take her back with them. And Master Chief, they go to where the ship is. They find out they're mining for stuff. He takes a artifact.
He takes a chunk of ice because that's what they're mining for, right?
No.
He takes a bottle of water.
They're mining for...
Oh no!
has
He takes a bottle of Dasani water. Look, this is what they were mining, sir.
He finds a Forerunner artifact, which is an ancient race of aliens. Anyway, he touches it and he like gets all weird about it, which doesn't happen in the games. Anyway, so he goes back to the UNSC headquarters, which is on the planet Reach, which isn't true. It's on Earth.
Well, maybe did they rename the planet? Reach,
No.
Earth,
No,
Earth
Reach in the game is another planet that gets destroyed by the Covenant.
Well, maybe the United States of Outer Space gets destroyed by the Covenant.
They do, but that happens in Halo Infinite, so that hasn't happened yet.
Oh, I see.
But they're not following. It's like they're making up their own storyline because UNSC is based on Earth, not Reach. Reach gets absolutely destroyed in Halo Reach, which is one of the games. So I think that's dumb that they're on Reach because they never were. Anyway, while Master Chief is going back to Reach with this girl, they tell Master Chief to kill the girl because she's not cooperating. Because they wanted to like give like a statement about how the aliens are bad and the UNSC isn't bad. She's like, no, people are bad. Anyway, so Master Chief decides not to kill her, but instead to escape with her and the Forerunner artifact. And she's like freaking out that he's trying to save her. She points a gun at him, and she's like, I'm gonna kill you. He's like, I'm wearing titanium armor. That's not gonna do anything. She's like, oh. And he takes off his helmet. If you're gonna kill me, you have to shoot me in the face. I'm like, why did you take it off?
Because he wanted to die.
Obviously, I wanted him to die. That's not my Master Chief. Anyway, so
Hashtag
stupid.
not my Master
Hashtag not my Master Chief. Paramount Plus can suck it. Anyway, that's why I'm triggered. There was a long explanation of the story just to get to why I'm mad. Yeah.
I feel more informed now, though.
You should. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
So after that, was it just crappy, or did he just stop caring because Master Chief took off his helmet?
I stopped caring. I mean, because in the beginning it was really good because the elites, the aliens looked really good. You know, all the sounds were from the game, right? When Master Chief's shield, was destroyed because it got shot at, it made the sound. Then when it recharged, it made the right sound. And all the guns had the right sound. The elites made the right sounds from the games, and they looked correct, and the guns looked correct, and it was awesome. And then they messed it up. They messed it
Of
up.
course they had to. They couldn't make it as good as a game.
Why not?
I don't know. Ask Disney.
It's not Disney, it's Paramount Plus.
I know, but Disney did that with Star Wars, so.
Yeah,
It's a trend to ruin stuff.
Kathleen Carey needs to be thrown away in jail. That's my
That's what she gets for
messing with
Star Wars.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm part of me wants to keep watching the series because it's Halo and they're gonna shoot. I would like to think they're gonna shoot more aliens, but I'm wondering if they just had the elites in there just to hook us in, and they're just gonna have a bunch of petty drama
between Master Chief taking off his helmet and the girl
and the rest of the UNSC now hunting down Master Chief because he took off his helmet. Yeah.
The United States of Outer Space. They don't want the Mandalorians to take their helmets off, so they force them to keep them on.
That's right.
Well, the aliens of outer space go and destroy the United States of outer space.
That's right.
And they also destroy the rebels of outer space.
Yep.
Man, there's a lot of outer space.
There's a lot of outer space.
A lot of outer space.
The other thing is in the trailer for the Halo series, there's these things called Halo rings, which are designed to destroy all life because there's these evil aliens called the Flood. So imagine so you have these things called the Flood, and they infect any living life and corrupt them, and they become evil. And so the only way to kill the Flood is to starve the Flood. So to kill everything so the Flood have nothing to infect and eat.
Doesn't that destroy the point of being alive then and stopping the Flood, because they're going to kill the Flood the Flood's going to kill everyone anyway?
Yeah, but at least you die on your own terms. Instead of being consumed by the Flood.
Okay.
The Flood are imagine space zombies, basically.
Okay.
That severely deform you and look creepy. Anyway, so in this series, there's a Halo ring, and one of the Spartans looks at it, they're like, oh, Halo! And it's they've never played the game, and they just read the line Halo, and it has no meaning the way they said it. Because you don't just see a Halo ring and say, oh, look, Halo. You say, oh, look, it's a Halo ring. You don't just say Halo. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I maybe I'm just being too critical.
You're probably being too critical. As someone who is a connoisseur of not playing Halo games at all, I have no leg to stand on. So,
But can you see why I would be upset?
I can see why you might be upset, but also you seem fairly uninformed about Halo because you keep these people and those people and those aliens.
Oh, okay. No, you're talking about these people and those people. Okay, so the aliens are called the Covenant. You have a bunch of different aliens that are part of the Covenant. The elites, the brutes, the grunts, and the prophets.
It's because we don't understand Halo.
Yes, because you don't understand Halo. Okay, you have all these different aliens, and they worship the Halo rings because they think the Halo rings are going to bring about some miracle or whatever. But they don't understand that they just kill everything.
So then why does everyone else know that the Halo rings kill everything, but the Covenant don't?
Because the UNSC found/made Cortana, which is an AI who's super smart, and they plugged her into the Halo ring.
Well, why couldn't the Covenant make an AI that?
Because they're religious zealots who aren't that smart.
Anyway. And yet they have a massive fleet that wrecks everyone.
Yeah, well, they're led by these prophet aliens that are just obsessed with their religious goals, and they can't see anything beyond it.
I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like Halo kind of has a trash story.
No, I just have.
When he explains it, yeah.
When I explain it, yes. But the other thing is, so it's just aliens against the people, right? But
see, that's
in
cool.
this show, there was a human working for the aliens. Why is there a human working for the aliens? Doesn't make sense. It never happens in the game.
It's a double agent.
I don't think
They're double agents.
I didn't think about that. It better be a double agent, or Paramount will. I don't know. I think they'll just fade away. They'll mess up Halo so bad if they don't make this person double agent. They'll just cease to be relevant.
All right.
So that's my hope.
Well, since we're on the topic of, sorry, had to yawn there. since we're on the topic of TV shows, all right, what are your thoughts on the Lord of the Rings TV series coming out?
It's a woke piece of trash.
I have to agree with you. Like, the trailer I've seen, the first scene that you see coming into a harbor with a massive, beautiful city looks great, and then everything after that, it just looks crappy. Like, if you watch the movies...
They're just focusing on Galadriel the whole time.
Yeah, and, like...
It's like, I mean, as cool as she is, I'm pretty sure she was kicking butt when she was younger, but, like... I mean, come on.
Well, and the armor that she's wearing doesn't look anything like any elven armor that we've seen. And granted, I get this is like thousands of years ago.
Thousands of years.
But, like...
Fashion trends can change, Tucker.
Fashion trends change, but,
it's like in the Halo series, Master Chief is in the same shade of green.
But like, all the depictions that we've seen of elvish armor, they all don't look like that.
Yeah, well.
And then, on top of that, if you look at like all the clothing and armor and stuff that you see throughout, and even weapons and stuff throughout the trailer, and if you compare that to all the clothing, armor, and weapons and all that stuff in the Lord of the Rings movies, it just seems very not detailed. Like, everything is just kind of instead of having little things engraved in it, it's just kind of solid and smooth and doesn't have any details in it. It just doesn't look as good. Like, a good image that I can picture is, like, if you look at the Knights of Gondor, like, you can see all these tiny little details in their armor. Like, there's dents in their armor, there's like the Tree of Gondor, there's the eagle's wings on their helmets, and like feathers and all sorts of cool crap all decorating this armor. And there's none of that on, like, it looks like it's just kind of glossed over trash. So that's really the thing that makes me upset about it. And then I do believe that it's going to be a woke piece of trash too, which is unfortunate.
Are you
And
gonna watch it still?
I don't know.
I'm probably gonna watch it.
Jordan's gonna watch it. I might, if he gives a good review of it, I might watch an episode or two with him to see what I think of it, because I don't want my perception of Lord of the Rings to be tainted. I mean, it was almost tainted by The Hobbit, but The Hobbit still wasn't too bad. Like, The Hobbit wasn't great. Nothing can touch Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was just perfect. Okay, The Hobbit was, it wasn't to the level of Lord of the Rings, but it was still pretty good. Like, it was still pretty good. If Paramount Plus got Peter Jackson to come and direct this TV show, I think that he would do a much better job than whoever they have doing it, because he's already directed 6 movies for Middle Earth. He knows the universe.
Like, Amazon is doing Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's right. Paramount Plus is the one that's
Halo.
Sorry, everyone's got something plus now.
Everyone has their streaming platforms.
So
it's making pirating, a viable option again, which is unfortunate but true.
I get them all mixed up. But anyway, so I hope that the Lord of the Rings TV show isn't trash.
I hope so too. I hope they just made a woke trailer to appease the audience that isn't even their target audience.
I know.
That's what I hope. I hope it's good, because I heard that it's been in the making for a long time.
It's been in the making for years now. They've spent billions of dollars on this thing.
It should be amazing. If they spent
it better be
billions of dollars and it flops.
Yeah,
that would be hopefully an awakening for them, that like, oh, if we make woke garbage, it's woke garbage, and people don't want to watch woke garbage. Kind of like The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker wasn't too bad. I mean, it was definitely like...
They had a line. You know what Poe said? Okay? The worst line. Somehow Palpatine returned. Stupidest thing ever. You know what that showed?
I'm not going to disagree.
That showed that there was nothing but poor writing and poor directing involved in this movie. That means that there's no creativity, no original thought. They're like, we need a bad guy. We had one, but we killed him. Let's just bring back Palpatine. If you have to make up a new one, that means I have to think. Myself.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
I have to breathe.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that. But number 9 was not. It wasn't as woke as 8. 8 was really woke.
It was stupid.
So if we're rating them off of wokeness,
I don't even know about wokeness. It's just garbage.
but yes, they were both crappy movies.
They all copy the original trilogy. Okay? Episode 7 was just episode 4.
Again.
Episode 8 was episode 5. Okay?
Episode 5, but, you know, like, Luke sucked.
Yeah. I mean, it was cool that he, like, you know, kind of appeared halfway across the galaxy. I mean, that part was kind of cool. But other than that, it sucked. I can tell we're losing Maya.
You lost me a long time
Yeah,
ago.
we lost you once that was like, Halo sucks.
Because, like, these are all the things like, Star Wars is, like, the only thing I can relate to. And...
Okay, we're on Star Wars right now.
Well, yeah, but
What did you think of episode 8?
boring. I don't know.
You thought episode 8 was boring?
No, your conversation is just boring.
Oh, boy.
But what'd you think of Star Wars episode 8, Maya?
I only saw it once. I don't remember it very well.
It's
Did
okay,
you
it's not
enjoy
worth
it?
watching it again.
It was okay. Yeah.
It was okay.
I mean, of course, none of the new ones beat the originals, but
Yep. Okay, alright. You weren't outraged that they made a discount Hoth and had their battle on it?
Discount Hoth.
Anyway, I have high hopes for the new season of The Mandalorian.
I have high hopes for Kenobi.
I have high hopes for Kenobi too. Okay, they messed up the Grand Inquisitor. They just painted the dude's face white and like, hey, look, it's the Grand Inquisitor. They didn't make his head long. They didn't give him glowy eyes. They just, yeah.
hey, it's Voldemort.
Yeah, they made, oh, look, it's Voldemort, but he's in Star Wars. There we go.
Voldemort, but in Star Wars with a nose.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Where is Kenobi? No. So, I mean, so far that's like the only gripe I have with the Kenobi series is they messed up the Grand Inquisitor. And it shouldn't even be that much of a gripe for me because I never watched a single episode of Rebels.
Yeah, so why are you upset about that? You don't even know what the Grand Inquisitor looks like.
I know what he looks like.
But you never watched Rebels.
No, I never watched Rebels. Why would I watch Rebels? Rebels sucks.
Rebels wasn't that great. But see, that's the thing. With Star Wars, you have to watch the TV shows because there's a lot of stuff that like connects.
I just watch YouTube videos where people just go hardcore analyzing it and they tell me what's going on. Okay? Like the first episode of The Bad Batch, right? They had, what's his name? Kanan, right? That's the...
Yeah.
Yeah. They had him as a Padawan. So I watched the video afterwards and explained. I was like, oh, okay. That's cool. Still not going to watch Rebels.
Yeah, you know who told you that was Kanan? Me.
Probably you. Yeah.
was
I was
me.
going to...
Yeah, it was me.
Well, the other interesting thing is the same voice actor
Played him.
Which
it was really weird.
It was really weird.
It
He
was
has a
really
grown
weird.
man voice for a little kid.
Yeah, that was...
I'm Kanan.
It was really weird because like in Rebels he's like walking around, he's got this deep voice and he's like, hi, my name's Kanan. And then in Bad Batch he's like, you know, no, not even like that. No, it's like a kid that's like 10 years old. He's like, hi, my name's Kanan. It's like wow, you didn't de-age well at all.
Yeah. Well.
Because they probably had to use the same guy.
Well, they did. They used the same.
Yeah, they
actor.
use the same. Same
They
voice
couldn't-
actor.
They couldn't have like made him sound younger at all. Like he didn't sound.
He
any
had like
different.
5 lines, and he couldn't have even tried. I don't know. Well, he did try, but anyway, I don't know. Bad Batch wasn't bad. Wasn't.
The Bad Batch wasn't as good as the Clone Wars, but it wasn't bad. The last episode was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, because they had. I don't know what his name was. The sniper dude.
The sniper dude.
The sniper dude was like, I had my inhibitor chip removed a while ago. And they flashed back to when they turned the Starship's engines on his face and melted half his face. And they're like, oh, I guess that destroyed the chip in his head. That would make sense. But then why are you still fighting for the Empire?
Because he wants to.
And he's like, because he was like, oh, I, basically killed my, troop of discount stormtroopers. so that I could reunite with you guys again to bring you to the Empire.
Why
The guys
can't-
are like, no, come with us. He's like,
No.
nah.
And we're back to where we started.
It was like, I hope he doesn't hunt him down again because that would just be annoying.
Yeah. See, the dumb thing is that he's been hunting them down the whole time. Why not just like, if he's trying to hunt them down and bring them to the Empire, why doesn't he just go find them and then, say, hey, come to the Empire? And then they're like, no. And literally we can have a whole nother storyline instead of, the last 3 episodes that we got and
Yeah.
have like a better arc to finish it off.
Yeah.
Where like he has to help them or save them even though he disagrees with their political opinions or whatever.
It's just kind of what happens, but
Kind of.
anyway, but because if I was one of the clones, I would have just tased him and just taken him with us and been like, sucks for you that you want to be with the Empire because you're with us now. You're not gonna, because even if he doesn't want to be, and it's not gonna work out, at least it's not gonna be hunting you anymore.
It's true.
You've got him on your ship. You can work with him. Be like, hey, Empire sucks, bro. You killed innocent civilians, and yeah. And then when one of your little underling soldiers was like, I don't like it, you killed him. And it was like, come on, man.
It's true. It's true. They wouldn't have to deal with him in the future.
I don't know. It's I don't know.
All the originality in TV shows is gone. It's just everything's going woke now. Everything's going
It's-
woke, everything's losing its originality, and they can't come up with anything good anymore.
Well, okay. I mean, some of these Marvel movies are pretty good. I have high hopes for Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness.
Well, I think that will be pretty alright too.
I'm glad that they brought back the one dude from the first Doctor Strange movie. Like I can't remember his name, but he was his friend in the show,
Yeah.
and at the end he was like,
Too many wizards.
too many wizards. You mess with the time stone, I'm gonna be evil." And then they forgot him for years, and they're like, "Oh, he's back now." So I'm glad they brought him back,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time,
He's the bill that's coming due.
yeah, he's the bill that's coming due. I don't know. I heard they're gonna do a lot of cool cameos.
Well,
Like
it
what they
doesn't
did
shock
in-
me.
Of Endgame and Spider-Man.
It doesn't shock me that they're going to do cool cameos in it.
So
Hopefully it'll work out.
I have high hopes. So some movies are still good. I should say high hopes for the new Morbius movie. Do you even know what that is, Tucker?
I've talked to a few guys, and I'm not going to watch it, but
I think it's going to be rated R, so I wouldn't expect you to watch
yeah.
it.
But we'll see.
We'll
if
see.
it's good.
Hopefully it'll be entertaining. I'm going to go watch it just for the entertainment value.
Well, that's good. I'm glad
He's
you're
kind
gonna...
of Morbius is kind of like a comic book character that no one really knew a lot about. They're just kind of they need ideas. They need movies. So this guy. So I don't know. It's a vampire movie. I'm 100% sure it's gonna be better than Twilight. Any vampire movie is better than Twilight.
Have you even seen Twilight though?
I've seen pieces of it.
You have to see it.
I've seen
first.
pieces of the first one.
Just like he's seen pieces of Star Wars Rebels.
Exactly. So I know what the Grand Inquisitor looks like.
So you know everything.
I know everything. People have talked to me about it. I remember when
Those
Twilight
people
was.
are me.
People are my aunt who drew pictures of the Twilight characters. Anyway, so I was told how it ends because my aunt read the books. So now that she ends up with Edward and becomes a vampire.
Mm.
So the whole area of time where they're like, I'm Team Edward, I'm Team Jacob. I was like,
You already know how it's gonna
I
end.
know how it ends. She's
know.
a vampire with Edward,
Because a lot of people won't read the books, I guess.
which is dumb. Anyway, well, I mean, it makes sense. Why would you want to read a book if you just saw the movie, right? Because
I mean, I've read The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
I know
so
I'm trying to read Dune, but I haven't been very good at reading it.
You could listen to it on Spotify. Probably. That's what I do. I listen to Lord of the Rings at work
Audible or
on Spotify.
Spotify, they have audiobooks.
Mhm. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you can listen to Lord of the Rings on Spotify. I even found a great edition where the dude has the music from the movies playing in the background, and he has perfect imitations of everyone's voice, of every character's voice, and so he can read it.
Lord of the Rings audiobooks.
Yeah, so if Tucker's crying, that's why he's listening
Let's see
to that.
if that's the one.
Wow. Dude, that's actually really cool. I don't have to pay money for Audible.
Yeah, I think this is the right one.
Suck it, Audible. Spotify's better.
So
They have audiobooks and Joe Rogan.
there you go. You're welcome.
Reading Dune. Oh my gosh. They have the Dune book on Spotify. Alright. I might do that.
You're welcome, Jordan.
Thanks, Chuck. That is actually awesome. I really like that.
That is our listeners' helpful advice for the day. Listen
Yeah.
to books on Spotify.
Spotify has audiobooks.
Spotify has
That
audiobooks.
is awesome, bro. I want like a little taste of chapter 4 of Dune.
Muad'Dib had no playmates his own age on Caladan. The dangers were too great. But Muad'Dib did have wonderful companions. The one weather thing they have
Right.
is these giant storms that rip flesh from bone and
I don't know if
bone
that's
into
the.
That's the
Yeah.
worst one you can
I think I was looking up
It might just be talking
It's
about
a commentary. Okay,
that's
well,
Saint Alia.
and then when they actually read it, it's in like an echoey. Okay, well, but the thing you're listening to though, on
it. Spotify.
Spotify was,
Lord of the Rings.
but that was just the book.
It was just the book. It might have been some dude reading the book and just recording it on Spotify.
Terry urged to leap away. Good, she said.
Okay, well, all right. If you want an audiobook on Spotify, you're gonna have to do a little bit of digging.
You might have to do some digging, but it's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it.
do some digging. Screw Audible, don't pay for it.
Okay, so we've spent a lot of time talking about TV shows. I'm sorry if anyone's asleep like Maya.
I spent a lot of time talking about TV shows.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordan spent a lot of time talking about TV shows and movies. So we're gonna move on. But going along with TV shows and movies, like pretty much everything we're talking about today has to do with movies. So Will Smith had some exciting moments in what is it, the Oscars or
Yeah, it's called the Oscars.
who even named it the Oscars?
Probably,
Probably Oscar.
Probably
yeah,
Oscar.
Oscar.
Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the boring because nobody watches it.
Yeah, no one cares about the Oscars anymore.
Anyway, so
I've
If,
been watching Maya try and open an Amazon package for the past however long this podcast has been.
Just like lazily opening it. I'm not like
anyway,
in a hurry to open it.
so but Will Smith's
Chris Rock made a joke,
about Will Smith's wife,
and
and then Will Smith went up and slapped him. And so we're gonna watch a video
okay,
of
but do you know?
Matt Walsh commentating
So,
about it.
so I think it was all a setup. I think it was all. I think it was a ploy to make people watch the Oscars. Okay,
all right.
I gave Maya my knife to open up this Amazon
and
package.
she has no idea how to do it.
I do.
Give me the knife.
No, I'm done. All I do is just.
Okay, all right. Well, okay, good. You opened
Oh
it. All
my
right,
gosh,
awesome.
That was so
That
sad
was,
to
that
watch.
was distracting.
That was so sad to watch. I wish that all of our 9 listeners could have watched this because
It's how I feel about listening to this whole conversation so far.
thanks, Maya.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being part of the podcast.
Yep. I'm always here.
What did you even get from Amazon?
It's stuff.
Okay, all right.
All right.
Anyway, I think it was all staged because they know that no one's watching the Oscars. So if they make, oh, what if Will Smith slaps Chris Rock? Yeah, why would he slap Chris Rock? He makes a joke. Okay, people make jokes all the time. Why would he slap him? It's about his wife. Why would he get mad about a joke against his wife if they're in an open marriage and Jada Smith is sleeping with other men?
I know. Yeah.
Right?
That's the
Why
thing that I
would he
thought.
care?
Yeah.
Because she has alopecia and is sick. Why would he care? She's sleeping with other men.
I know.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because if you watch the video, Will Smith is laughing at the joke.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes up and slaps him and starts swearing. It's like, yeah, it's staged. I'm sorry. But you know what? It worked because people are talking about it. Look, we are. We're talking about the Oscars.
Talking about the Oscars.
Normally, we would never talk about the Oscars because the Oscars suck. They don't nominate cool movies. I bet they didn't even nominate Spider-Man. Because I know the movie they nominated was Will Smith, is the one where he...
It's King Richard.
Yeah, the one where he was Serena Williams' dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. The movie that, like, not a lot of people watched because it's not even about Serena Williams, it's about her dad. It's like, yeah, I mean, Serena Williams, one of the best tennis players, one of the best female tennis players ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool, make the movie better. Don't make a movie about her dad.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, anyway, that's why they nominated, because no one watched it. Because Oscars nominate movies. No one watches. And, yeah, I think it was all a ploy.
All right. So, now that we have that commentary before we even watched the video,
Yeah.
we're going to listen to Matt Walsh commentate about what happened with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in the Oscars, because, why not? So, without further ado...
The Oscars were held last night. It was an event that passed almost entirely without notice, if not for one incident, which we'll discuss in a moment. Before we get there,
That's why it was staged.
it's worth reflecting on the fact that award shows used to be ratings bonanzas. I mean, there was a time in the not too distant past when 40 million people, 50 million people would sit around their televisions on a Sunday night and watch a bunch of wealthy drug addicts give themselves awards for 5 hours. Those days are long gone. Soon, the era of televised award shows will be officially over. They'll no longer exist at all. And our children will look at us with bewilderment when we explain that once upon a time we used to actually watch celebrities give speeches about how great celebrities are. They will certainly find that confusing. I have always found it confusing, and I lived through that era in history myself. The reasons for the disintegration of the once popular award show genre are many.
All right, you two need to stop. Oh my god. You two are driving me nuts. For those of you who can't see, which is everyone, stop it. Stop it. They're both popping their fingers into the microphone.
And Tucker's crying.
He's losing it.
I'm so distressed right now. I feel like someone has committed a racial hate crime against me.
Too bad it wasn't like my really loud pops.
All I want to do is have a nice podcast. I can't even have that. So I can't have nice things. Oh my gosh. Stop it.
Good stuff. Let's talk about Matt Walsh. Talk about what I already talked about.
One obvious factor is that the films nominated and awarded are increasingly obscure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Last night, apparently, something called Coda won Best Picture.
Oh,
Nobody
yeah,
has
it's
seen
about
this movie. Nobody.
a hearing kid with deaf
There's a debate
parents.
raging right now about whether the movie even technically
Why would we watch
exists.
that?
Nobody knows. If it does, nobody knows where to find it. It seems that they just gave Best Picture to a movie that exists only as a hypothetical, like a theory. It's an abstract concept. And this is a reflection of the deeper problem. Hollywood, infected with a terminal case of wokeness, is more and more insular with each passing day. It's obsessed with itself, with its own moral superiority.
Yep.
And that tremendous sense of self-righteousness has caused it to collapse in on itself.
That's why nobody watches it.
One of the consequences
Yep.
of wokeness is that it obstructs a person's ability to see beyond themselves. And this is true for anybody who subscribes to this cult or is indoctrinated by it, but the effect is
It is a
amplified
cult.
by a million
All right.
in Hollywood because it's denizen.
If you want to watch a movie that accurately shows how evil Hollywood is and how stupid Hollywood is, you need to watch the movie Team America World Police.
Okay.
Looking at your faces, I know you've never seen it. And you probably won't see it. But to all of our listeners, which will probably be about 5 of you who watch this episode, go watch Team America World Police if you're still listening.
If you're still listening.
It's on Paramount Plus, the same abhorrent streaming platform that desecrated Halo.
Okay.
Go watch Team America World Peace.
Okay.
Alright.
Citizens are already living lives of incomprehensible privilege. These people are already artificial, basically, self-obsessed, overindulged, coddled. You can see why they're all leftists. It is a worldview made for them.
I don't know. It
and
seems like
also,
Mel Gibson
in
might
large
not be
part, made
leftist.
by
That's
them.
true. That's true. There's some people that aren't. But
They're not
when was the last
interested
time he won an
in even
Oscar?
pretending otherwise anymore.
We
The
don't
last
know.
time he was in a
Pretend.
movie.
They used to at
Yeah,
least
true,
pretend.
fair
It's
enough.
always been the indoctrination, the leftist indoctrination from Hollywood, but it used to be a lot more subtle. They used to pretend anyway to, to be trying to appeal to a larger audience, to be able to relate to a larger audience. That is over now. Last night, judging by the clips that I saw online anyway, because of course I didn't, like everybody else, I didn't actually watch the show. They
Yep.
kicked things off by going political right away, wasting no time.
You know, the only clip
Just
I've
planting
seen
the flag right away. This is
is
what
of
it's about.
Will Smith slapping Chris
And of course,
Rock.
the
That's the only
first
clip
item
I've
on the
seen.
woke agenda was to virtue signal about the fictional "Don't Say Gay" bill that leftists have invented. Watch.
We're going to have a great night tonight, and for you people in Florida, we're going to have a gay night.
And of course, they have Wanda Sykes saying that.
Boo. Boo.
In the olden days, gay meant happy, so she's probably like, we're gonna have a happy night, and everybody else who's gay, like who's actually gay, I'm like, yeah. Maybe that's what it was.
I like how Uma Thurman and John Travolta are sitting next to each other.
I love how you know these people.
They were both prominent characters in
Okay,
the movie.
Guess what? Who gives a crap? They're characters.
No, I
in
need
a
to know what the
movie.
movie is. It's
They're characters in they're characters in a movie. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I only care about characters in a movie. The only reason I know who Mel Gibson is because he's in like 5 of the movies that are in my top 20 movie list. And so it's like, oh, I wonder who that actor is. Okay. Up until about a year ago, I didn't know who Ewan McGregor is because all I knew is that he was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay. That's all I cared about. If I saw him on the street, I'd be like, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, not, oh, it's Ewan McGregor. All right. So
this weird. Okay, I was like that when I was younger. Okay, when I was younger, I would watch like movies like Finding Nemo. I wouldn't even listen to the words. I just watched it, and then when I became a teenager and watched it again, I was like, "Oh, they said that." It was
You
a
know, I
completely
think I
new
did that
experience for me.
too.
Yeah.
I think I did that too.
you people are weird.
Well, not like when I was
Oh,
a teenager,
no, I
I
was-
wasn't that weird.
Okay.
Like when I was just a little older, like at least like 7.
Yes, when I was but a wee lad, that's what I did. Okay, so John Travolta and Uma Thurman were in the movie Pulp Fiction. Okay, that's because, and in the movie Pulp Fiction, they were always hanging out together. All right, that's why I thought it was interesting. Yep. All right, Quentin Tarantino. Yep, that's cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Boo.
Bill Gates
Wanda Sykes.
Oh,
Yep.
ads.
He was
Boo.
not a software
Ads.
Oh, excuse me.
What courage! What courage! I mean, it's hard to fathom the bravery required
And-
to stand on stage.
Yeah, because they're talking about the "Don't Say Gay" bill, which doesn't say anything about
Gay.
you can't say the word gay. It's don't teach kids under the age
It's
of 6 about
It's parental
gender identity.
parental rights and education bill.
Yeah,
Nowhere in the bill does it say gay.
so it seems like Wanda Sykes and Amy Schumer don't have any idea what this bill's about.
Well, it's like Matt Walsh said. He said it's a bill completely constructed by the left because they had to make up something to make it. Because what sounds better for the left? Don't say gay bill, or we don't want parents to have a say in what their kids learn about in school.
Yeah.
And that if you say we don't want parents to have a say what our kids learn about in school, well then that sounds really bad.
That sounds really bad.
And so don't say gay bill.
I thought the "Don't Say Gay" bill was in favor of not teaching young children about gender and stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is about it is in favor of not teaching.
So it's in favor of just teaching the core principles.
Kids under the age of 6, you don't talk about that in school at all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
'cause at
so
that
it's,
age,
it's basically just like don't talk about it in school.
yeah, which makes total sense. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure that, like I said, Wanda Sykes, Amy Schumer, and whoever that other actress was, they have no idea what the bill's about. And yeah, of course, What actors know anything about anything other than the lines they read?
Pretty much.
In front of a room full of gay people and say the word gay over and over again. This is what heroism is all about. And they kept playing the hits. Later in the monologue, they threw in a bit about toxic masculinity and also Mitch McConnell. Listen.
This year we saw a frightening display of how toxic masculinity turns into cruelty towards women and children.
Damn that Mitch McConnell.
I know.
Yeah, because when you think of toxic masculinity, the first person that comes to mind is Mitch McConnell.
I don't even know who Mitch McConnell is.
He's the
Hispanic
Senate,
actor, John
the Senate
Leguizamo,
Minority Leader. He's the
took
Republican
stage
Senate
to
Minority
applaud
Leader.
I thought you were going to
Hollywood's
say it was the
representation
tranny woman
and
of
all
the
of
year.
the
No.
beautiful Latinx faces. Listen.
Look at all these beautiful faces out here. All these beautiful Latinx faces. We got great representation here tonight,
Okay,
people.
so Latinx, okay? Because
Or as
In
Matt
Spanish-
Walsh likes to call them Latinx.
Latinx, okay? In Spanish, you do have, male and female forms of words and stuff,
Mhm.
right? Conjugations and all that goodness. Okay, in those Latin America countries where they speak Spanish, they don't use Latinx. They don't.
They don't.
No, it just doesn't exist for them.
Mhm.
It's just we're using it for them, which is not cultural
It's-
appropriation, it's cultural creation.
I wouldn't even call it cultural creation. It's more
No.
whatever it's called when you force something upon someone else.
Yeah,
It's
kind of like
I don't know
what
what
we
that-
did with those people in Africa a long time ago.
What did you two do in Africa?
I didn't do anything in Africa.
Quit trying to make the cat part of the podcast.
He doesn't want to be.
Anyway, yeah, I think it's weird. We're doing all this stuff in the U.S. We're like, oh, look, we're so much better. We're doing this about these other cultures, and these other cultures are like, nah,
care.
we don't care. What are you doing?
Just knock it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing about people in the United States right now is they think everyone's like, oh, we're so amazing. Like everyone's just like us. Everyone thinks the same. No, there's only
We're so
there's-
good. We'll
there's-
fix your culture for you.
yeah. There's only 3 places on Earth that people think the same way as we do, as so many people do in the United States. There's liberals in the United States, Canadians, and Europeans. Those are the only 3 groups of people who think this way and think that everyone in the world believes the same as them. Oh, and Australians. Okay, 4 places. Sorry. But like, yeah, you go to Africa, they don't give a crap
I don't give a
about
crap.
anything that we say. You go to Russia, they want to kill us. And they're not civilized people at all. You go to China, they hate
Okay.
us. They hate our guts. You go to
Not that Russia isn't civilized, just
But
their
they-
government's garbage.
government's garbage, and they hate us. And then you go to like South America or Central America, and like you go to all these places, and they're like, we don't give a crap.
We don't
about-
care.
We don't
We're-
care about
we're
what
doing
you
our own
say.
thing.
Like, why do you do these things? And they're
Why do you
stupid.
do this to us?
Yeah.
We're just doing our own thing.
Exactly. Just if that's the one thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
The left tries to fix all these things that ain't broke,
And they're breaking it.
and they're breaking it.
Like the freaking sequel trilogy of Star Wars. They
Yeah.
broke it.
It's kind of like if you
Like what they did with Halo, they broke it.
It's like if you bend a piece of metal one way, you want to bend it back to fix it, and you break it because it ain't broken. That was a terrible analogy. Never mind.
That was horrible.
That was a-
okay.
That was a really bad analogy. All right, we're gonna keep watching this and move on from that terrible analogy.
Oh, sorry, not Latinx, Latinx. Yeah, I always forget how to pronounce that made-up word. I'm not exactly sure what a Latinx face looks like, seeing as how there's no such thing as a Latinx person.
Yep.
Latinx, at best, sounds like the name of a Hispanic OnlyFans site. Name for a group of people, especially because if this sort of thing is important to you, there are already numerous gender-neutral terms available to describe that group. Terms like Hispanic or even just Latin.
Yeah.
But again, wokeness is insular, self-referential. It's gibberish to anyone who is not already fully indoctrinated into it.
Yeah.
That's why the left has to work so hard and so desperately to indoctrinate children into the cult. because they know that adults who grew up in saner times are increasingly turned off by this sort of thing and are rapidly tuning it out in a literal sense when it comes to the Oscars. That is, people were tuned out until the smack heard round the world. Now, this clip, but let's all watch it again for entertainment's sake, if nothing else.
Smack her around
Watch.
the world.
He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
See, he's laughing.
And then, but you see her face. Her face is like
She's like,
she's
whatever.
pissed off about it.
She doesn't like it.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
Yeah, staged.
Wow, dude. Yeah. It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay?
Yeah. See,
Okay.
they've both been movies. They can act. They can
Yeah.
make this up.
That was greatest night in the history of television. Okay.
The greatest night for the Oscars
Since ever.
whenever.
Truly the most
Yep.
atrocious thing Will Smith has done since the Aladdin remake. It's nothing at all after spending all that time with his auntie and uncle in Bel Air. On the positive side, however, Smith's physical assault of Chris Rock completely overshadowed and drowned out all of the virtue signaling that came before it. You know, all this like LGBT stuff, they had all the Ukraine stuff, and like all of that's out the window. The celebrities in attendance wanted the story to be about them heroically chanting the word gay, wearing blue ribbons in support of Ukraine. They didn't want this to be the story. That's also why you shouldn't buy into any conspiracy theories that the incident was staged. Okay, it was not. That's a more absurd
I think it's staged.
idea than the
No,
incident itself was.
It is
Now, maybe
not.
the VMAs circa
It makes so much
1997
sense.
may have staged something like this, but not the woke Oscars of 2022.
I mean, he does make a point.
This is
there.
entirely real. And we should admit the most entertaining thing that's happened at any award show in at least 25 years.
Okay,
Personally,
that
I
is
might
true,
actually start watching these things if the whole show is just a bunch of celebrities beating the hell out of each other on stage in a really well-dressed version of Celebrity Deathmatch.
Okay, so Logan Paul has come out and said he would sponsor a fight between Chris Rock and Will Smith, a boxing match,
Oh, really?
which I hope happens.
That would be very entertaining to watch, probably.
Yeah, dude, I like it. Let's just watch celebrity fights instead of the Oscars.
The Oscars, and then whoever wins can get an Oscar.
Dude, your cat's food smells disgusting.
It smells really
It
bad,
smells so bad.
but you know, he likes it.
Loves it so much.
He does love it. He also likes ice cream.
You give your cat ice cream?
Only the leftovers after I've eaten all the ice cream, and then I scrape the sides and give him a little bit on the spoon.
Huh. All right.
Okay. Back to getting slapped in the face.
But as fun as it may be to watch, that was nonetheless a physical assault, which was committed on national television in front of literally dozens of viewers. That if you or I had walked onto stage during an event of that kind, or any other kind, and committed assault against a presenter right in front of everybody, we'd be in handcuffs within 15 seconds. Instead, Will Smith sat back down, enjoyed the rest of the show, even won Best Actor later in the evening, where he proceeded to cry and paint himself as the victim of the physical assault that he just committed. Listen.
Oh.
Listen. Oh, look, it's a stupid
You're not ready
game
for it.
trailer that's probably not worth playing.
Richard
Look, it's Jason
Williams was a fierce defender of his family. I'm being called on in my life to love people.
People that sleep with other men.
And to be a river to my people.
A river? What?
I mean,
Doesn't
Scientology
make
really
sense.
messes with your brain.
Wait, Will
don't
Smith
try.
isn't part of Scientology, is he?
Only in Hollywood can a man
Oh, I didn't
assault
look this
another
up.
man and then 20 minutes later give a tearful speech about the power of love.
He's got a point
I'm
there.
a river to my people by smacking Chris Rock. Also, keep something else in mind. Will Smith, and this is the most important thing about this incident to keep in mind, he has bragged publicly on multiple occasions about the fact that his wife sleeps with other men. He has long been out of the cuckold closet, very open about the fact that his wife enjoys jumping in bed with strange men. So any temptation you might feel to take his side, to argue that this was a husband defending his wife's honor, as I've seen, like a few people, a few conservatives even have said, well, this is right. This is traditional values. The traditional values. He's in
they
an
might not
he's a
be
cuckold in an open marriage
Scientologists.
with this woman. He laughed at the joke at first.
He did
and then
laugh at
looked
the
over
joke.
at his wife, scowling, and said, uh-oh. And this was him doing it primarily as this was another act of emasculation by him.
Yeah.
And any temptation you have to defend him must be mitigated by the fact that to Will Smith, defending his wife's honor does not include preventing other men from having sex with her.
Yeah. So
So you can, you
doesn't
dare
make
not
sense.
joke about his wife, but you can't have sex with her. Now that's a man of principle.
see, okay, here's a
Has-
question. I wonder if he slapped Chris Rock because he thought that Chris Rock was going to sleep with his wife after the show.
I doubt that. I doubt that indeed.
Probably, I think he slapped Chris Rock because he could take control over the situation because he doesn't have any control over his marriage.
That's the one thing that he could take control over was slapping Chris Rock.
Yep. Because
So-
he doesn't control over his family.
Yep.
'Cause he's a cut.
All right.
Oh.
Well, I think that we're pretty close to the end of our time limit here. We've covered a lot today. It's been a little bit of a boring show.
It's because yeah.
You ranted about Halo.
I ranted
and-
about Halo and I didn't know a whole lot about Halo, so it wasn't the best rant.
So it was an uninformed rant.
It was an uninformed rant,
It's like
but
it,
you
like
know what?
like a typical liberal.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, we'll see you, or I guess you'll hear us sometime later this week when we come out with our next episode of The Third Hand. But in the meantime, stay squatchy. Go find some Sasquatches out there.
Go slap Chris Rock.
Go slap Chris Rock.
Sleep with Will Smith's wife.
Don't do that. Don't do that at all. And yeah, so stay squatchy out there.